Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, Rashid, and as you can see, I'm in my car. I'm picking up my daughter from work, and I have a few things I have to do because it's my baby's boy's birthday, and I got to say happy birthday to my son, Kadeem. Kadeem, happy birthday, man. You know I love you. That's my Velcro, as my mother says. Kadeem is my Velcro because he's always with me. I had to actually sneak off because he was right up under me, and I had to sneak off and leave him so I can come pick up his sister. But anyway, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me live, and those who would download and listen later. It was just some things that were on my mind that I wanted to address, especially concerning the build up for war in the Middle East, and the recent events in the Middle East. Now, it is crazy because I often tell you all about the meaning of terminologies, the definition of words. But before we get into that, I want to apologize up front, close and personal, that this will not be streaming live on Odyssey and Rumble because I'm in my car and I'm doing this on the fly, and usually my son is the one that sets those links up, and I don't know how to do it, so I want to apologize when it finally airs on those two platforms. Okay, I'm really sorry. I don't know how to do it. My son does it. He's a tech whiz, tech genius, and his dad is dumb as bricks when it comes to computers and stuff. So it is what it is. But I want to talk to you all about something because it seems like the empire is becoming more desperate. For those of you who may be a part of my Patreon, go read the latest article on Patreon a few days ago. What I told you that sources was telling me that was about to happen in that region, and you'll see that. I was saying it before the drone strikes and everything. I was telling you all this because there's something that most people don't know. While the whole world has been focusing on the Ukrainian conflict, I have been telling you over and over and over that as of right now, I know it's almost blasphemous to say that it's a distraction because of the loss of life there, but in reality, it is because America wants to get Persia out of the way. Iran, that's what they want to do. And I've been telling everybody who would listen to me that this thing will explode as a regional conflict. This will not just be a America versus Persia, America versus Iran thing. This thing will be regional, the MENA war. And after this war is over, remember my words to you all. After this war is over, let me let the ambulance pass by for a minute. Okay. After this war is over, America will be weakened. I'm not saying that she's going to lose to Iran, but what I'm telling you is when this war takes place and these events multiply in that MENA region, America will get everything she can handle and then some more with Iran. As a matter of fact, a source contacted me earlier telling me that a few Chinese cargo planes landed at one of Iran's air defense bases. I'm letting you know this firsthand. This is premium stuff that I can put in articles, but I'm letting you know this. And from what I've heard, that Iranian defense officials and foreign affairs officials are in contact with Russia, with Syria, with China, and a few other states about the possibility of war. This is what was told to me. It can be true, it cannot be true. I haven't had time to verify, but the person that told me this usually is rock solid when they tell me something, okay? So I've been hearing on news sites, mainstream and alternative, that America has promised to retaliate for the so-called drone strikes. A few things just didn't make sense to me as I was talking earlier today. But first, before we get into all that, excuse me, let's go into the word retaliation. Because if America is going to retaliate, we need to know the meaning of retaliate or retaliation so that we can understand her position in if she strikes against a nation or if she moves against a nation, okay? It is very important. It's paramount that you understand the definition of words, okay? So according to Google's dictionary, The word retaliation is a noun. It means the action of returning a military attack, counterattack, right? Revenge, vengeance, reprisal. Now, here's something. And the reason you see me keep looking around is because I'm trying to find a better parking spot than what I am. Normally, a car pull off, and then I'm able to pull closer to her so that when my daughter, she can see me or whatever, and she'll be calm. Because I almost had to get jiggy up here last night. But anyway, with some people that came in acting all kind of uncivilized ways. But listen, so the definition says revenge, vengeance, or reprisal. Now, America has been talking about making war with Iran for decades. Dick Cheney says anybody can go to Baghdad, real men go to Tehran. So this has been on the agenda for a long time. America has never forgiven the revolution for overthrowing the Shah. They've never, the same as when they never forgave Muammar Gaddafi for overthrowing the king and taking over and uplifting the education, the healthcare, and the living arrangements for the people of Libya. When you put America out, when you remove her bases, when you overthrow her minions and her puppets, she never lets that go. So now, as we look at the situation that's going on right now, and that word retaliation means that they were hit, right? So if we look at America, she said, well, her drone base was hit, so she has the right to retaliate. Most people look at that and they'll say, yeah, that's right. That fits that description. But hold on. First of all, I've never seen a drone strike do the damage that the United States has said that drone strike did, killing, 3 to 5 people and injuring upwards of 30, destroying buildings or whatever like that. One drone strike now. One. Right? And on top of that, it was supposed to happen in Jordanian airspace. Jordanian airspace. Not Syrian airspace, not Iraqi airspace, not the United Arab Emirates airspace, but in Jordanian airspace. How does that even make sense? And if the drone strike happened in Jordanian airspace, that means their radars are suspect. That means that the United States air defense systems are suspect. And that means that Jordanian military air defense systems are suspect. Right? If we're going to look at what America has said. So we got to analyze all that is being said. Let me see. Comments. Okay. I'll go to comments in just a second. Matter of fact, let me pull them up a little bit. Holly is in the building. Thank you, Holly, for joining me. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you for that birthday wishes to my son, Kadeem, too. Thank you so much. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute, because this is very important. You know, we have these people who have been pushing for this war against Iran for the longest. And now they have a casus belli, right? Regardless to Jordanian people asking America to leave, the Syrian people demanding that America leave, the Iraqi people demanding that America leave, the Iranian people demanding that Americans leave, the Palestinians demanding that Israeli and American people leave. America puts herself as the victim. Hold on, let's examine this. Remember, I told you we got to think. This show, we force you to think through the propaganda and the fog of lies, okay? Now, if all of these nations are demanding that you leave their region, not in their nations, in their surrounding area, but yet you refuse to leave there, Iraq is under occupation. Syria is under illegal occupation, right? America has deployed troops to occupy Palestine, right? If these nations are demanding for you to leave and you refuse to leave their nation, and you openly state that you have killed Iranian-backed militiamen, and just the other day you bombed Iraqi territory, killing Iraqi Hezbollah, and somebody responds to you. How can you then justify if you got hit? That's retaliate. You got to retaliate. Retaliation is what they did. If you hit them, that becomes escalation, not retaliation. There's a big difference. Big difference. And most people don't want to talk about this. Listen, and I understand you want to be a patriot, but you have to, your first duty lies to God and the truth over any and everything. That was one of the main principles that my mom taught me from a child. She said, even if I be wrong, your first duty is to God. My mom taught me that. God and the truth, that's your first duty. And all else falls in place, falls in line behind that. So now, if we examine what is being put out there, how can one drone, and I see Medi's in the building, shout out to Medi. How can one drone strike, one drone destroy buildings, injure 30 or more people, kill 3 to 5 people, right? And your base is insulated and surrounded by your so-called most advanced air defense systems, and no radar picked it up. You didn't even respond because they said the air defense systems did not even respond. So if I'm a person ready to purchase your air defense systems, then I'm going to leave your air defense systems alone, because this is not the first time that they did not respond. Okay? Back to retaliation. If you are illegally occupying a third of Syria, and militias from Syria, whether they be Iranian train, Russian train, Chinese train, or whatever, that are indigenous to Syria, if they strike you with their drones, with their missiles, they have a justification. Just like if Chinese or Russian troops come in America and they refuse to leave American soil, and you have militias that strike Russian occupied areas. They have every right to do that, to defend their national sovereignty and territory. Why don't anybody even think about that? Huh? And again, notice how everything has been attributed to Iran, Iranian-backed militias. So, okay, let's just give America the benefit of the doubt, okay? Live on the air, I'll call you back, okay? I think that was my other daughter. Anyway, so listen, I'm telling you, I'm running around my son's birthday. I'm running around getting certain things, okay? So you guys have to forgive me for that. That's why I'm not dressed. That's why I'm looking crazy or whatever like this. But let's look at this. Everything is being attributed to Iranian-backed militias, as if Iran has full control over everybody in the Middle East. If Iran had full control over everybody in the Middle East, America wouldn't be in Syria. She wouldn't be in occupied Palestine. She wouldn't be in Jordan, the United Arab Emirates. But you keep telling us these Iranian-backed militias are attacking you. We have an easy remedy to stop all of that. Stop using these U.S. boys, men and women, as target practice and bring them from over there. You have no right, no business whatsoever to be thousands of miles away with your military hardware bases and everything over there, because you would not allow it here. So first of all, to remove the danger, you remove the troops. What's so hard about that? Stop antagonizing people. Stop, because you and Israel were just assassinating Iranian leaders, Iranian military guys, and that was okay. But when it comes, you say, well, Iranian-backed militias killed 3 U.S. troops. Hey, my heart goes out to the families. My heart goes out to the people who were lost. But when we want to talk about, what about the people you're killing? They're not in America doing it. See, you have to look at this. What's going on is not going on in America, within her borders. These people are fighting for the survival in their culture, in their nation, in their way of life. That America is trying to impose her way, her economics, her politics, her style of governance on these people. And when they reject it, oh, it's still there. And when they reject it, they become extremists, regimes, militias, dictators, tyrants. But yet they're not on England's border. They're not on the UK's border. They're not on the European Union's border. They are nowhere on the U.S. border. They're not on U.S. soil setting up military bases. It is the other way around. It's the UK. It's the EU. It is the U.S. So you're telling me these people don't have the legitimate rights to fight for their sovereignty? But you do? 10,000 miles away? Make that make sense. Hold on, let this other ambulance pass. Listen, when you're born into this world, when you're born, regardless of your color, your ethnicity, your sex, anything, you are born with God-given inherent rights to every man, woman, child, regardless. Now it's up to you to submit to the laws in which God created the universe, right? How is it that you have the right to defend yourself, but they don't have the right to defend themselves? You know the first law God put in nature is self-preservation. So now, if we know that the first law of nature is self-preservation, let us look at what's going on here in the right manner. Are they setting up military bases? I don't care about right-wing websites. I don't care what they're saying. Oh, they're coming through the borders. I don't care anything about. But what we do have is facts that America has military bases over there and has had them over there for years and decades, right? We know that, right? But we do know, which is not a conspiracy, is that America has used those bases, the UK has used those bases, the European Union have used those bases to exert military, political, and economic pressure on those governments and those peoples, right? So if the first law of nature is self-preservation, and you refuse to leave my land, and you are exploiting the resources of my land, and you are refusing to allow us to have the type of government that you want, and you are imposing your type that is putting in policies that are a detriment to the masses of us, but to the benefit for you. If I follow the law of self-preservation, it is my divine right to strike you to get you out of my land. Huh? I'm just asking. I'm just talking to you all because I see nobody talks about this. And someone in passing was talking. I was listening to him earlier, and I only got a chance to see maybe I got a couple emails, and I only got a chance to see maybe 15 minutes of each, alternative media, maybe 20 minutes of each one, maybe just to see what they were talking about. And in passing, one says, they continue to harp on this, regardless of all of the facts, okay? They continue to harp on this. They said the United States has been over there and her military has been building up since, listen to this, Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. Now, when you look at that, the average person, because of the propaganda and because of what's pervasive on the net and what's pervasive on alternative media, most people look at that and they're like, okay, yeah, that's right. Since Hamas attacked Israel since October the 7th. But if we leave that right there without addressing that, it brings up a whole nother can of worms. These were not unprovoked attacks. Remember, prior to 1947, that was called Palestine. And it was taken from Palestinians. And they had been under occupation since 1947. 57, 67, 77, 87, 97, 2007, 2017. And here we are, over 70 plus years under occupation. They don't have the right to defend themselves. They don't have the right to respond. Huh? Only America and the West have the right to respond. This got to stop. I'm telling you. Notice I don't get invited on a lot of talk shows because their rationale, their understanding to me is like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? What? I mean, seriously. So you're going to bypass international law. On this area, you'll use international law when it's beneficial to your argument. And on this area, when it is not beneficial, you just bypass international law and just wipe the floor with it. If we're going to go, because they keep talking about what we need are UN agreements or UN treaties. We need more international law to do this and this. Okay. Right? Let's agree that. Well, we need UN law. But what about the laws that were passed that are on the books? So we're not going to enforce those. Why? Why won't we enforce those? Because they're to the detriment of the people who want the new laws passed. So we only need laws when they concern a certain people or when they concern a certain area of the globe. But when they concern colonial nations, we could just dismiss this. We could just dismiss this. On one of the shows when I was talking to Martin Saif, the journalist, Martin Saif, and he was talking about international law and what we talked about international law, and I brought up to him international law, and he dismissed it because it was irrelevant. He wanted to make it irrelevant because it was not conducive to his standing and his argument, and it showed flaws in his argument. And this is what people do. Do you understand? Shout out to Mr. Carter in the building. We want what's going on. We want the truth, okay? Now, I've been telling you all for weeks, months, and for years that there will be a major regional conflagration there. America can't let go. She won't let go. She will not let go. She wants revenge for being kicked out of Iran. I want you to think about this, everybody. Let's just say the drone strikes were legitimate, Iranian-backed militias. Let's give America the benefit of the doubt and say those were caused by Iranian-backed militia. Okay, we're not going to argue that point now, even though we've argued that point. We're not going to argue that point. We're going to submit to that rational way of thinking with the West, okay? Those were Iranian-backed militias that struck a U.S. base. Now I want to ask you, where's the U.S. base located? Did they strike it in the United States? Did they go to Virginia and strike the U.S. base? Or did they come to the Panhandle, the Emerald Coast of Florida and Alabama and strike it? Where did they strike the base at? They say Jordan, right? Some people are saying that it is in Al-Tuf. I can't pronounce that. It's the border area with Jordan and Syria. You know that area where America is training ISIS fighters, and she has a 50-mile radius where you can't. Syrian warplanes, Syrian airplanes, Syrian government officials cannot come in a 50-mile radius of that base. Or the United States says they will strike in self-defense, even though they are illegally occupying that area. Yeah, you heard what I just said, right? So now, we give credence to America saying that this was done by Iranian militias. Well, Russia is losing troops in Ukraine, and the U.S., the U.K., France, Germany, and all of NATO are openly stating that they're giving weapons to them. They're openly in there saying that they're going to advise them. They're openly stating that they are supplying air defense systems and radars and stuff. So it's okay for you to do that. It's okay for you to go 4,000, 5,000 miles away and arm this nation to the teeth against its Slavic brother and publicly state that our intention is to bring Russia to its knees. We cannot let Russia win. Oh, but we're not a party to the war now. Even though we have mercenaries there, special forces, even though we're training them, even though we're arming them, even though we're giving them intel, real-time intel, but we're not a party to the war. And then you scream about Iranian militias? Make that make sense? Oh, if that's not enough, that's not enough. You and Israel just assassinated both Syrian Hezbollah and Iranian officials and military guys. You guys just took out, bombed Iran's industrial area. Saboteurs, special forces saboteurs. Go look some of this up. Y'all didn't get this in the mainstream news. They tried to destroy Iran's industrial region. They tried to. Recently, I'm talking about as recently as a week or two ago. They are attacking Iranian infrastructure. You know what'll really make you think about it? See with the what's going on with Russia and how the United States is bombing Russia, huh? Saying that it is Ukraine, even though Ukraine can barely muster a pipe bomb. You know that? So all of this stuff America can do, but when she gets hit, everybody must mobilize. Everybody must feel for us. Everybody must be on our side. But you're openly doing it to everybody else. I don't understand. Hold on one second. My daughter's calling me, and I don't think she. 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. I got to call her a second. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hello? I'm outside. I've been outside streaming for the longest. When are you guys coming out? Do you see me? Y'all, hold on, everybody. Hold on 1 second. All right, I think she sees me. But anyway, like I said, why must we moan and cry for America? Think about it. Are those nations thousands of miles on America's shores doing it and carrying out the activities that America's carrying out on their shores? Are they doing that? Hold on 1 second, everybody. Let me mute the mic 1 second. You guys, I'll be with you in 1 second. Matter of fact, I don't like any dead space, so give me 1 second and let me bring up a clip. You know how I am. I hate to have those dead spaces. So give me 1 second as I scroll and find a clip that is on money with what we're talking about. Let's see. We'll go here. Give me a second.
The United States suggesting it's ready to use military power to maintain its international dominance that's being challenged by China. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made a comment as the Pentagon unveiled its latest stealth bomber, B-21 Raider. Austin said that China has both the will and the power to reshape the U.S.-dominated international order, but he warned that Washington won't let that happen. Austin added that the U.S. is aligning its military budget to the China challenge. Washington and Beijing are locked in tensions over a host of issues, including what Beijing calls the threat posed by Washington's strategic shift to East Asia. China also says it is ready to use its military strength.
So I'm back. I'm sorry I put that up. I couldn't let that play, but I put that up. My daughter was asking me to drop one of her coworkers, one of her employees off. So I said, yeah, I don't have no problem doing that. But anyway, so I won't be on much longer, but I'm coming back with another stream, okay? I'm coming back with another stream. I just want to talk to you all. I want to put some stuff on your mind as you guys listen to this alternative crap. This alternative crap that they continue to put out here, claiming to be alternative media. The crap that they put before you guys and ask you all to swallow, they say it's ice cream. They tell you, hey, I got this ice cream for you. And it has all kind of sprinkles. And when you lick it, you find out it's body weight. You've got to think through this stuff. All right? All the time, America has been moving all of those ships and armaments and tanks and warplanes in the region. Remember that America is under economic strain. That takes billions of dollars to do. And why would she want to hit Iran? has become a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Iran is going to be the center for that oil transit, that gas transit from Asia all the way through the Middle East, and all the way around this Belt and Road thing. And they try to use Afghanistan to get into Russia, China, and India's underbelly. Now they see that Iran stands at the core, and if they can take Iran off, they believe that they can prevent the fall of their so-called rules-based international order, right? Because they can control Iran's oil, gas, and the new reserves of gold and copper and all of that stuff that Iran has found, and then they can make pipelines and ship it to Europe. So this is about geopolitics and keeping the dollar as the world's reserve currency. That's what this is about. I want you to think about this stuff when I get off the air with you all. Think about how insane these people are. Life has no meaning. These same people will strut before the cameras and talk about how Christian they are, how much they love Jesus. And then you have these insane evangelists that continue to back them with these policies that they put in that would be diametrically opposed to what Jesus taught. They prefer profit over the lives of people, over the security of nations. That's the act of Satan. That's not the act of Jesus. Right? And I want you to understand, these are the same nations that started World War I, World War II, and now they're pushing the world to the brink of World War III, all while screaming how they profess to be a lover of human rights. In every war around the world, you see them in. In every conflict, they got to say something or got a hand in. How is that Jesus like? How is that Christ like? And then when you think about the money that they're investing in space to try to find new life, and you got to excuse me, I got my little thing and it's coming up. Matter of fact, I'll take it off while I'm talking to you. So, look, while they're spending billions and billions of dollars talking about looking for new life, now let's reason together. If there's intelligent life in the universe, and this intelligent life has been watching life on Earth, and say, for instance, you were that intelligent life, would you want to come in contact with them, or would you allow them to come in contact with you when all you've seen is war, destruction, devastation, and exploitation? These people are savages, and they don't care what they have to do, and they will use any flimsy excuse to justify their policies. And then later on, they'll make jokes about it at White House briefings and White House dinners. Oh yeah, where's the WMD? Oh yeah, the baby's thrown out the incubator. Oh yeah, and then the press corps laughs. The press corps never takes them to task on any of the lies because they feel that once the lie has been told and they've justified it, to hell with what you say. There's no respect for you, no respect for the lives of you. They'll throw your lives out the window for a couple of dollars to advance their policies. They don't care about those people in uniform. There's some bodies to be used to advance a policy that they want to advance. And if they can't for them, then why the hell do they let them languish back at home with no health care, with them having to choose between rent, a mortgage, or paying a car note, or getting their medicine or something? If they cared about them, if they were patriotic, like they say, if they were so patriotic, they would invest in them first, not into the weapons makers. They invest more in weapons makers than they do to the people who have to use the weapons on the battlefield. So how is that patriotic? How is that a love for America? Huh? See, we deal with the real here. Let me check the comments too while I'm on here. Salute to Flying Crocodile. Salute to Perseverance Chameleon. Yeah, he said once again they didn't get notifications. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Carter says, is there anywhere safe to run and live a good life? I thought about it long and hard this weekend. Why do I need a document passport to leave while others can just pull up? And listen, I'm going to tell you this. When you ask, is there anywhere safe? Yeah, there's two places. There's one place I can tell you about specifically that is safe from war, in the bosom of God. I don't care. The bomb can be dropping left and right. If you are wrapped up in the bosom of God, you don't have to worry about it. You don't fear. What is that old saying? Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Hmm? So when you wrapped up in God, you see, I don't fear none of this. I go to when I have to go do something, I don't worry about the plans and plots of everybody else, because I know God is the best of the planners. And if it's meant for me to go, then I'm gonna go. But if it's not, I don't care if you have a bazooka or nuclear weapon or whatever. You can't take me out, because your will, your way, your policies are not stronger and more effective than the divine supreme being. So that's the way to protect, because the whole world is being engulfed in madness, propaganda, foolishness, war, division, because of these lunatics. You understand, man? Guys, listen, I get passionate about this stuff, because I want you all to know that as the world changes, they're not going to talk about this, because it's, they'll talk a little bit, but they won't tell you that in reality, you got to attach yourself not to gold, not to silver. That's a good thing to have. Commodities, that's a good thing to have. But in reality, the only thing that will get you out of this madness today, yesterday, and tomorrow is being attached to the living God. That's it. That's it. Some people call him Yahweh. Some people call him Jehovah. And some people call him the Beneficent. Some people call him the Most Merciful. But when you want to say all of the names together, when you want to give him all his credit, you say Allah. That's all of the names. And see, they don't tell you that. They want you to think that Allah is some kind of spook god or something like that. They want you to believe that. But when you put them all together, when you want to say the Beneficent, the Most Powerful, the Most Merciful, the Most Loving, all of that, when you want to put it all together, it's Allah. Ask him to tell you about that if I'm lying. Thank you, everybody. I got my people in the car. I'm going to pull off for a minute. You can tell me in just a second where you're at, and I'll take you. I just want to talk to you all about it. And you got to stop looking at each other with an eye on hatred. You got to stop looking at each other to exploit. And you got to start being an example of truth. Truth is not to exploit people. Truth is love, right? Truth is empowerment. That's what you got to look at it for. So look, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on this short live stream. I know some of you didn't get the notification. It's all good though. We're gonna stream again, and then the chat will be filled again, because you know how we do this. I'm stopping for a minute because I'm trying to find some on this little screen. I want to say this to each and every one of you. If you love truth, know that I love you, but know that the true and living God will always love you better. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, stay righteous. And remember, do right, not because people will see you. Do right because it's the right thing to do. I love you all, but guess what? Hey, mama, your baby boy loves you more than life. Deuces, everybody. We out of here.